Ladies and gentlemen, Geri Petito.
I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. And in time, this too shall pass. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Geri Petito taught the class. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Loves the answer, the greener grass. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. One day at a time, free at last.
When you don't know just what to do,
Just what to do, just what to do.
if what you're feeling is really true,
Is it really true? Is it really true?
just keep your ideas safe and sound.
Safe and sound, safe and sound.
That's exactly how change is found.
Change is found, change is found. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. And in time, this too shall pass. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Geri Petito taught the class. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Loves the answer, the greener grass. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. One day at a time, free at last.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Geri Petito Show. Everyone and anyone who knows me knows I am the author of I'm Not an Addict, I'm Just an Ass. I'd rather be a smartass than a dumbass. Because, guys, 33 years ago, this July that just passed, I was a dumbass. But today, 33 years later, through the grace of God, I can honestly say now I'm a smartass. And yes, the word ass is in the Bible at least 40 times, and it means donkey, and that's what I was. I'm saying all that to say this. There are a lot of people out there struggling with health, with addiction, recovery, family members. I want everyone to know someone is listening. I'm a nutritional health coach. I'm also a recovery coach. Please, please reach out. All my services to you are free. I want everyone to know someone is listening. If you think my book can help someone, because I sure do, you could go right to Simon & Schuster's bookstore, Archway Publishing, BAM, Amazon, Barnes & Noble. You can go to my website, www.geripetito.com. Please subscribe to the Geri Petito Show YouTube channel. And my book is now on audio with my voice, guys. My producer, my incredible producer here, is doing audio books now, if anyone out there is interested, any of you authors. Because here's the thing, I didn't want Simon & Schuster to do my book in audio because I wanted my voice to tell my story. So if you feel the same way about your story, get in touch with me. My producer can do it right here in our studio, guys, okay? So now, if you truly, truly, truly cannot afford my book, please, please reach out to me about that as well. I'm here to help you. Before I introduce my incredible guest, I want to give a shout out to a few of my sponsors. Okay, first we have Ken Ryan and Linda Garofalo, The Way It Used to Be, singing songs from the 50s to the 80s, a tribute show to the greatest music and voices of all time. And guess what? Ken also does Elvis for me, baby. That's right. Thank you. Thank you very much. And this couple is so beautiful inside and out. They do so many fundraisers to help people, so I want to thank them for that. You guys rock. Then we've got Michael D'Amore, singer, songwriter, performer, entertainer, www.michaeldamore.com. Guys, you know, I only say this about Michael usually. Elvis is, forget it, up there, right? To me, Elvis is Elvis, right? But at one point, I put Michael right under Elvis. And the only reason he got knocked down a notch, just one little notch, was because Carter Rubin, who won The Voice, Rick Mango's grandson, yes, I put him second. So he knocked Michael down a notch. But you got to go to Michael's website because his music is incredible and you can even buy his songs, okay? Then we've got Michael Zanman, singer, entertainer, performer, www.mzanman.com. He's crazy, cool, good. All right? I have the honor again this year, I did it last year, of emceeing Friday night at Let East. Zanman will be opening up for Michael D'Amore, two of my buddies. They're like family, so check them out. They're both incredible. Then we've got John Monforto, the man of many faces. I actually named him that. Singer, actor, celebrity impersonator, and tribute artist. But he was given the title, the official title, by a former Philadelphia mayor as the official Philadelphia Rocky impersonator. That's right, he's Rocky. He does about 30, and of course, my three favorites, the Italian in me, of course it's Rocky, of course The Godfather, and honey, Elvis, baby, you got it. www.johnmonforto.com. Then we've got John Bishop, a.k.a. Johnny B., singer-songwriter, host of the Entertainment Luncheon South, a nonprofit network created for the creative. His Facebook group page, Entertainment Luncheon South, partner in the Joey D and Johnny B Rockin' Oldies Band, guys, and you can find them on Facebook, Joey D, Johnny B Rockin' Oldies Band. And I want to give a shout out to him and his wife, Lenny, because they put on this luncheon once a month, and it's by invite only. But if you beg him and tell him you know me or Norman, he might let you in. $20, you get a great meal, and guess what? You get incredible entertainment. We'll be talking about that later as well. Okay? Now, last but certainly not least, I usually name this sponsor first, but today I waited, all right, because this particular sponsor happens to be sitting right here. So, STORMIN NORMAN SELDIN, guys, 732-245-4777, www.storminnormanseldin, look at the screen, baby, okay, .com. Booking dozens of attractions for concerts and performances on venues of all sizes. This guy's got a 5 to 12-piece band, and a lot of people didn't know this, but he helped get Larry Chance started. Larry Chance from the Earls, remember then? Larry was like family to me, and I miss you, and rest in peace, sir. But this man right here helped get Larry Chance started back in the day, all right? So, without further ado, I want to introduce this guy right here, STORMIN Norman Seldin. Say hello to everybody.
Hello to everybody. I mean everybody. Everybody next door and everybody.
That's right.
Everybody in Canada.
That's right.
Hello.
Yes.
I'm glad to be here.
So, how you doing?
How you doing?
How you doing, baby?
I'm doing good.
Good.
I am. It's a busy week, and I won't be on the Jersey Shore performing because I have your show. I'm recording at Steinway in Philadelphia.
Talk a little. You could talk a little louder.
I'll be doing new recordings on the Steinway Spirio. I don't know if I should flirt my friends now or later.
So, okay, I want you to plug your friends. So, talk about that because they're doing what you would have been doing, correct?
Well, if you're down in the Jersey Shore, you need to check, and you know, Pam McCoy and Familiar Faces. She is my best friend and lead singer for over 34 years. Whenever we have the big band, whether it's Bonnie Raitt, or whether it's Linda Ronstadt, or whether it's blues, she kills it. And she's working 6 nights straight, so you just find out where Pam McCoy and Familiar Faces are playing. They'll be there. And also shout out to my piano partner, Ryan Gregg.
He's incredible, too.
Who's amazing. And that's the unique piano duet. And, you know, then we have the big band, which is too many people. But I also want to shout out to my friend for 18 years. And this is for later on, but write it down. Kevin at Jacobs Music in Philadelphia. That is Kevin at Jacobs Music in Philadelphia, 215-983-1682. And when we talk about teaching a little bit later, anything you want from a Steinway or a Boston or an Essex or even a Roland Digital, like you'll hear me play later, is available. Kevin will make anything available for you in new or pre-owned.
Okay.
He has been doing that. He's young, and he's been doing it for well over 30 years.
That's pretty cool. So you don't have to talk as loud now because I think we turned up your mic as well.
Okay.
So, so these people are incredible because I've actually seen them and heard them, and so they're awesome. I want to talk about something. The main reason, well, not the main reason, but one of the main reasons that we wanted to do this interview live was because he wants to do something incredible now for seniors.
Right?
So
Seniors? Yeah.
tell everyone what you want to do.
In my 1 million years of piano, I have a lot of time in Red Bank, New Jersey, which is my home base, although I spend a lot of time in Pennsylvania now. I am going to be offering private lessons to adults and senior citizens from beginner, the ones that maybe couldn't afford them when they were younger or quit and they were sorry they didn't play later.
Okay.
Pick them up where they left off or start them from grade A on B. Teach them how to read, teach them all the scales, teach them how to play songs the right way. And again, Kevin would be helpful. If they don't have the right piano, he'll find one for you.
That's cool.
For their needs or the
Yeah.
room, or some people want the ultimate, some people want something to start. he knows how to do that, and I did that, for 17 years.
Right.
And I'm a Steinway superior
Steinway.
artist.
I
anyway,
tell
so-
everybody, because I remember when I lived in New York, I grew up in Long Island City, New York as a kid, and we moved to New Jersey when I was 12, but I remember Steinway.
And
I
they-
mean, the
they had-
pianos, I mean, come on.
And they have their own. There's a Steinway station
Yes.
on the subway.
Yes.
And you know why, right?
Tell us.
Steinway originally had his shop when they came over from Europe was in Manhattan.
Okay.
So he purchased property in Queens.
Okay.
There was no way to get the woods and the material to Queens. So he was one of the first inputs to design and help with the subway system.
For real?
For real. And it had a double meaning, to go out there and to be able to bring his wood and other people out to that area where he was building his new factory.
That's pretty cool,
uh,
okay?
That's just, and every row house that you see now there that's currently around the factory, which is still in Queens, there's about 30 or 40 houses. All of those belong to employees of Steinway, so they didn't leave the property. And at the edge of the Idlewild Airport, there was a Ferris wheel and amusement park for their kids, so they didn't have to go anywhere.
That's pretty cool.
So the whole area was Steinway, and that's why that station says Steinway Station, and you walk 4 blocks and you're at the factory.
That's pretty cool. I love all that information, especially about New York, because I grew up. That's pretty cool. Thank you.
And the one other thing, which most people don't know, is Steinway had originally signed an agreement with Daimler Chrysler to build cars. That's in the history book of Steinway. There's more written about Steinway than any other American product, because
That's
it's
pretty cool.
right. And he decided not to build the cars because he did not think the roads were good enough to handle the cars.
Okay.
So the genius
That's pretty cool.
was there, the whole family.
That's pretty cool. Before we play one of his songs, because we're going to play one, so give everybody a treat, I want to let everybody out there know the first 3 people to contact me on Facebook Messenger, I will send you his album and his CD. Okay? I've got 3 of them sitting here. 3 albums, 3 CDs.
And
Okay?
that's the purple limited editions.
You tell them that part. Go ahead.
There were only 1,000 of these made worldwide. Most of them went to Europe, and you'll hear Larry Chance in there, Johnny Maestro, my band. You'll hear Pam McCoy, Stiletto and the Sax Band. Doreen's got songs in there, incredible songs. Most of them are redo, and there's a special insert honoring Larry Chance.
Beautiful.
And there's Larry singing I Owe Have Nothing, and then an earlier version of his disco thing when he was so it covers a whole spectrum. So it's good, easy listening. Joel Katz is on it.
Yep.
Joel does some great young girl, and but you've got Johnny Maestro singing background with Larry Chance. It's incredible.
That's incredible.
So it's special.
So we're going to give everybody a treat right now, producer, and we're going to play one of his songs. Here we go.
5'2", eyes are blue. Oh, what those 5 foot could do. Has anybody seen my girl? Well, turned up nose, turned down hose. Oh, you know where it goes. Has anybody seen my girl? Now, if you run into a 5'2", oh, covered with furs, oh, well, diamond rings and all those things. I bet your life that it is in her butt. Coochie love, coochie coo, oh, coochie, coochie, coochie coo. Has anybody seen my girl?
So that was amazing. So, Norman, tell everybody about that incredible song.
We needed one more song, and we were in the studio, and I said, "How about 5'2"?" And they said, "What?" I said, "5'2". You know the old standard when they did the Charleston and all that. They said, "I don't think the song's been done in 65 years." I said, "Maybe longer." But I remember it was like on page 13 when I was like 11 years old playing for the little fake books. So we said, "Just run it straight." And we had the chords written out. And I said,
There you go.
let me do a test run. Of course, test runs, you never know whether they're bad or good, but they had it on. And I went through, and all of a sudden I said, "I'm going to scat sing." Bloop, went right into it. Everything went like, the first solo was great. The solo, the drummer on the second solo was just 20 years old. She'd never even been in a recording studio. Saban Lehman.
That's pretty beautiful.
And she just loved it. She wanted to just know if she could take her shoes off so she could play in her socks. And we had one of the members from the Asbury Park Stompers, Ian Gray, the trombone player, came in to do that because that fit in that song. So he's also with Ryan. He has his band, Ryan plays with him. So that's where that song came from. And it came out, the engineer walked out and said, "Don't touch it." I said, "It's one take." Pam said, "Don't touch it."
That's impressive.
And I said, "Okay, we're not touching it? No, when we're done, we'll mix." And that was it.
So that's pretty cool. I'm impressed.
And she, at her age, what kind of drum solo? I said, "Go on," because, she's young. I said, "Go on YouTube, go on everything. Check out Buddy Rich, check out Cozy Cole, check out Ed Shaughnessy, check out all these other people. Take a little something for each of that and something that you want to do yourself and make it into a drum solo." And she did.
That's pretty interesting.
On her own. And
Yeah,
she
that's
still
great.
takes lessons twice a week.
Okay.
Yeah.
And she's young.
I think she just turned 21.
Yeah, that's amazing.
She's way ahead of herself.
Okay. So this is what I want to do. I want to play one more of your songs. We're going to talk about it. Then I have a couple questions for you.
Okay.
All right? Because I want to give them a little treat here because this is amazing. All right, producer, we'll have one more song.
Don't go back to a world you don't believe in and you can't achieve in. Don't go back just because of him, 'cause you have grown in such a short time. I'm so proud that you're mine. You're the love of a lifetime. I'm so glad that you're mine all the time. My big time lady. Big time lady. When you walk, it's always tall. Oh, baby. It's hard to find any faults at all, because you're one in a million, and that's for sure. And your eyes are so lovely, and your heart is so pure. That's for sure, my big time lady. Big time lady. And if you'll believe in me and try to see all of the good times that we both share. And if you'll believe in me and try to see all the good things and how we care together, good times that we both share. And if you'll believe in me and try to see all the good things and how we care together and forever, my big time lady. Oh, my big time lady. Oh, darling, I need you. You know, baby, you're my big time lady. You're one in a million. Oh, baby, and I love you. Oh, well, and I need you. Oh, my baby, how I want you. Yes, you know I love you.
So that's absolutely beautiful. All right, tell us all about this song.
Well, everybody always thinks I never wrote any originals. I've written 40 or 50, maybe more. But I always got tabbed as the James Brown, the Otis Redding, the R&B, the Joe Turner blues shouter thing. And my forte has always been ballads. And wrote this song and was fortunate enough to have some very talented singers. Pam was in it, of course. And this was just a classic track. And most of the vocal things were influenced really by Larry.
Larry Chance, rest in peace, sir.
I mean, even the fade out, 1 in a million,
Beautiful.
just one of the special songs, it really is.
Absolutely beautiful. Thank you so much for bringing that song here, that's for sure. Beautiful. Before I ask you some questions, I want to show everyone my gift today from you. You're going to tell everyone about this. Producer, can you put this closer? I want everybody to see this. Thank you so much. Okay. Tell everybody about this poster.
I've had that poster, I guess, right after I first married my wife, which is 34
There
and
you
a half
go.
years
You
ago.
let them see the Elvis. No, but get closer to there. Okay. He's going to show you, but tell everybody about this poster.
And for some reason, I saw this poster and I said, now I love Elvis, but I have other things in my repertoire that's much different. But I saw it and I said, and she said, oh, why don't you just get it? Will you? Maybe we'll frame it. I said,
How
no.
long ago was that again?
35 years ago.
Okay, continue.
And it went everywhere from Florida to Mississippi, back to New Jersey, back to Florida, but it always went there. And I had it at my new place when we lost Jamie February 18th, this year. And it was sitting in the front, and I said, I'm more of a Tom Waits and a Randy Newman guy, for what I do. And I said, but I know somebody that would really, really like this.
Oh, yes.
And I saw all the things, and I said, she's such an Elvis fan, but I guarantee you she does not have this.
No, I do not.
And that's from when Elvis was charging $2 or $3 in, I think, Gainesville,
Isn't
the
that
Gainesville
crazy?
Theater.
Thank you, producer. Yes, that's right.
It's an incredible.
I am so honored. Thank you.
And you can get this poster for a low price. $99.99.
No, you can't. That's my crazy producer who we love. Do you want to say hi? Do you want them to finally see your silly face? Show them. Say hi.
This is Norman.
All right.
This is all Norman.
All right. Norman, I want to say thank you publicly about this gift you brought me today. You don't know how much that means to me. Guys, if you don't know, I have a Elvis room, of course, an Elvis poker table I had made. I mean, I have a lot of incredible things from back in the day, originals. This is at the top. So I want to thank you
You're very
publicly. Amazing.
Only 1 or 2 people would enjoy that.
Oh, my gosh.
That much.
Oh, my gosh. I'm going to find a spot. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So now I want to ask you a couple questions about you, your
Okay.
career, before we make you go live, okay? So You don't have to say your age if you don't want to. If you want to, that's fine.
The Dead Sea was alive when I was born.
Dead Sea was alive, okay. But how old were you when you started playing the piano?
I started formal piano lessons at the age of 3.
So wait, you were 3 years old and you had formal piano
Yes.
lessons. Who encouraged that? Did you want them or did your parents make you?
Well, I was a rogue kid. I used to have a Woody Woodpecker record
Okay.
when I was young.
Okay.
And remember, in the old days, all the floors were hard tile. So my father was a bassist with the National Symphony and
Oh,
Philharmonic.
okay.
My mother was a Juilliard voice
Well,
student.
there you go.
But her father wouldn't pay the $125 because he was from down south, and he said that women should only have babies and cook meals for their husband. So she went.
No.
She went on her own and did all the Gilbert and Sullivan operettas and did all the theater, and sang. But she loved rhythm and blues. Because
Yes.
they originally came from Nassau, Bahamas,
Okay.
and long story. I mean, there's some in the book about it, but they pushed the classical, of course. I had to sneak in sheet music by Elvis and Frankie Avalon. It had to be snuck in.
Oh my gosh, yes, Elvis. Okay, cool.
I mean, everybody had that, and there was no football for me, and I was being in Hebrew school from 5 to 13, every Monday through Friday after public school. And if I wanted to play baseball or sports, I had to play with Jewish kids. There were no Jewish kids. There was hardly any there at the time. And so I was really voided until I was bar mitzvah. Then I dropped everything. And the guy in the back of my parents' jewelry store had been with aeronautics and jet engines and Brunswick bowling things, and he used to listen on transistor radio, but he listened to all black music.
That's so cool.
And he called me over one day and said, "Psst, psst." He said, "Listen to this." And I heard Big Joe Turner.
Oh, Big Joe Turner, yes. Hey, listen, Elvis does some of that too, baby.
He said, "This is the real thing." He
It
said,
is the real thing.
This is not Elvis. This is not Pat Boone. This
Yeah,
is the real deal."
that's right.
He said, and he said, "And listen to this." And he put Fats Domino on, whose first
Amazing.
million seller was in 1951, which was the Fat Man, and it sold 1 million copies, never being on a white radio station.
That's pretty
So
cool.
all these things he kept shoving in my face: Little Richard, Big Joe Turner, Clarence Frogman Henry.
Oh, yes.
And I started hearing that rhythm. I kept hearing that, and from the point of I was out of high school and in Manhattan School of Music at 14, I was done with everything. And when I stopped that immediately, actually was when I met some person then that I never saw for many years later. I was doing major shows. I was putting on teenage dances, and I was drawing 500 to 1,000 kids every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday night with a stencil typewriter with carbon paper, and they would draw hand-drawn flyers, and we would mail them. And we built that mailing list up to 1,500 kids. And I averaged 500 to 1,000 kids 3 nights a week for over 250 shows at major venues that couldn't even fill the place. And then the pinnacle of those young shows, we were at the Matterhorn Keyport Rollerdrome, and the Beatles had opened, the Beatles show was at Shea, and the Young Rascals had opened for them. That was their opening act. I was the first person to bring the Young Rascals to my show.
Wait. I don't like to interrupt, but sometimes I have to.
Yeah.
You brought the Young Rascals to your show.
Right after the appearance with the Beatles at Shea Stadium. I was the first one to bring them to my show.
I have to rub his arm. You touched him. All right, go ahead.
And in that, we had a battle of the bands 2 weeks before, and the top 2 bands would get to play on the show. So in that audience now, which I was just turned 17, in the audience was Bruce Springsteen. His band did not win. Vinny Lopez
Lopez?
who's my best friend, was in that there. That's the day he met Bruce. He met him there at the Keyport Rollerdrome. And they were watching my group, The Motifs, who was monstrous at the time. And
That was the name of your group,
well,
Motifs?
I married them. My group was Stormin Norman and the Soul Set.
Oh, okay.
And which included Doc Holliday, who later did
Oh!
458 master recordings in Nashville. He was my guitar player. So we were underneath the Rascals, and then there was the Motifs and the 2 bands that finished first and second in the show, in the Battle of the Bands. And it cost $2.50.
That was a lot of money back then.
Yeah, but they got the Young Rascals, this whole set, the motifs. They got 5 bands, and that same stage, on many shows, had Ruby and the Romantics, Len Barry, the Dovells,
Come on.
Johnny Thunder, the Duprees,
Come on.
Vito and the Salutations,
Oh, yeah.
and the Earls. It went on and on and on, and that's where my TJ's Teenage Dances. So you know that the big show I had, the 31st of this year, Vito Piccone and the Elegants.
Yep,
and,
love him.
I mean, and the Earls, of course, Larry
Yep,
passed.
yep.
They did show.
Yep.
Stiletto and the Saxman were
Yep,
there.
Yep.
Mr. Kulik was there, who's wonderful.
We love you, Bobby.
And my band, and unfortunately, that was the week that I slipped on the black ice and I cracked my ribs. I was taped up, and Pam came down with basically the flu. For the first time in 35 years, she could not beat in my right. And they actually left the space open.
So that was the same night I was supposed to be
Right.
there, and I was sick.
Right.
And Cindy was sick. She couldn't be there.
She didn't make it. And
We were going to be at the same table.
And Vito Piccone slipped in the driveway and cracked his hand that night, so he could only hold the microphone. Everything went wrong that could possibly go
the
wrong.
heck?
But we still had,
But Kenny Kojak and his wife Barb
yeah.
got my tickets. They loved it.
and a lot of people came.
Yes.
And that weather. And my roommate who was a jockey, flew up from Florida for that show.
Oh.
And of course he's, all of 4'11", he came up and we had a full house. Better than 300 people showed up from all over Staten Island.
Nobody's going to forget that night, especially all the injuries and sickness.
But he was up there. He said, I think next week after I talk to my lawyer, I'm going to own the Shore Casino.
Oh, my God.
But they did a great show.
Yep.
The sounds, everything was perfect.
Good.
So it's been a roller
Have
year.
some water.
Is there anything in this?
Only water.
This is special,
Listen, water, baby. No.
Now, your friend Cindy,
Yes. Hi, Cindy.
she can only drink Fiji water. There's something in that she can handle.
I don't drink bottled water because I'm a nutritional health coach, but the only water I will drink if I have to would be Fiji, and that's the only one I give to my guests.
Of course, you could buy a ticket to a show for a 24-pack of it, but but it's good. And that night was the first night I had, because my band had 5 saxes, and in the middle of all the turmoil, the one sax man's mom has a stroke, so he's not going to make the show. And this is the day of the show.
The same show.
Yeah, the big show. So,
I'm not laughing that happened, guys.
and he says, "But I'll get you a replacement." Well, I get him a replacement, and the replacement calls up, and he caught pneumonia. So we had to make 3 turnarounds to find the 5th sax player. So one of my other sax men had one, and he had to come in on the blind because I have 5 saxes in the band. So there was Ryan next to me and myself, and Chuck on guitar, and the bass player, and the drummer, and 5 saxes. So that was the first time that Pam didn't have the 7 songs we had rehearsed on Monday that week, and she was not by my right. We left that spot open the whole time.
I don't even know what to say.
And finally I brought Doreen up to sing, and I said, "Joey, come up and take." And she took Pam's place and played.
Beautiful.
So it was a big night.
It was.
And to top it off, my wife, who was,
Yes. Rest in
she
peace,
wanted to make
Angel.
sure that she paid to feed the band. They weren't feeding the band for free. There was a gorgeous buffet. It was her money that paid for the band.
Shame on them, but rest in peace, Angel.
34 people she
Yeah.
bought dinner for.
Beautiful.
So,
So, okay. So, I think it's time that we have you do something live.
okay.
All right, so take the floor. So, producer, you can switch screens for us because we want him on that beautiful purple and pink brick wall, baby. Watch the chords. Be careful. Here we go.
I'm cordless. We may just do one nice one,
Yes, one nice one it is.
and it probably won't be what most people would expect.
No, and you'll talk about it after you do it.
Over there, right?
You can talk about it there or there. Actually, if you want, you can talk about it. Go ahead.
Well, I'm not hearing anything through here. So
Yeah,
I'm just-
Ruben,
So
that speaker.
I,
Hold on.
Yes, very little. Very little. Check, check. No, I'm not hearing. I'm not hearing much voice at all.
Bear with us,
It's
guys.
okay.
Yep.
Check 1 2. Testing 1 2. 1 2. That's better.
There you go.
Okay. Usually you'll hear me doing classics, oldies, ragtime blues, Fats Domino. But I do Elton John. I do James Taylor. It's feeding a little bit. And I decided to do, instead of a guitar, you're going to hear a piano and a voice to it. It'll be different, but it happens to be one of the most requested songs that I get when I play solo. And it's called Sweet Baby James by James Taylor.
Oh, yes.
And somewheres in here, you'll hear this amazing piano kick in violins and everything just to warm it up. So it's. He is a young cowboy, lived on the range. His horse and his saddle are the only companions. He works in the saddle, he sleeps in the canyon, waiting for summer, his pastures to change. And as the moon rises, he sits by his fire, thinking about women and glasses of beer. Closing his eyes as the doggies retire, sings out a song that's soft but as clear as if someone could hear. Good night, my moonlight lady, rockabye, sweet baby James. Deep greens and blues are the colors I choose. Won't you let me go down in my dreams and rockabye, sweet baby James. The 1st of December was colored with snow. So was the roadside from Stockbridge to Boston. The roadside seemed dreamlike on account of that frosting. With 10 miles behind us and 10,000 more to go. Oh, there's a song that they sing when they take to the highway. Song that they sing when they take to the sea. Song that they sing of their home in the sky. Maybe you'll believe it if it helps you to sleep. But singing just works fine for me. Good night, my moonlight lady, rockabye, sweet baby James. Deep greens and blues are the colors I choose. Won't you let me go down in my dreams and rockabye, sweet baby James. The 1st of December was colored with snow. So was the roadside from Stockbridge to Boston. The roadside seemed dreamlike on account of that frosting. With 10 miles behind us and 10,000 more to go. Oh, there's a song that they sing when they take to the highway. Song that they sing when they take to the sea. Song that they sing of their home in the sky. Maybe you'll believe it if it helps you to sleep. but singing just works fine for me. Good night, my moonlight lady. Rockabye, sweet baby James. Deep greens and blues are the colors I choose. Won't you let me go down in my dreams and rockabye, sweet baby James. Oh, rockabye, sweet baby James.
Don't move. Don't move. Okay, first of all, I'm giving you a standing ovation from my seat. That was off the charts incredible. He doesn't know I'm going to ask him to do this, but I have to. Can you please, please do even a little something else? I don't care, just a little something else. You were amazing.
Where would you like this to go?
Okay, so, you know, like pretend like you're practicing and you're like, oh yeah, let me try 1 minute of this or 1 minute of that. And you just want to practice something. Go ahead.
Okay.
All right.
You'll get little pieces of everything. How's that?
That's what we love. To see the real you. Wow. Stormin Norman Selden, everybody, amazing. So Norman, thank you for that treat. That was incredible. Now you guys got your money's worth, okay? You're welcome. You're very welcome. So while you're sitting there, I want you to talk now to the seniors and do what you wanted to do to show them a little bit about what you'll be teaching them.
Well, a lot of seniors are people that have arthritis. I mean, for
Okay?
starters.
Talk into the camera. Talk to them.
Oh, I've never talked to that before.
Yeah.
I have. But,
Say hi, seniors.
hey, seniors. Hi, adults. You know, I do have one very talented, very young student. That's Pam McCoy's grandson. Otherwise, it's all, starting in October, I'll be taking limited amounts of seniors and adults that want to play again or learn to play the right way. I don't usually do that, but it's kind of a payback from what other people go through, what I went through, to save them a lot of aggravation, and it'll be right in my studio in Red Bank. But for some of you people that are having a little arthritis or you're a little older, remember a little pink ball that we used to throw off the steps? Sometimes it was stick ball, sometimes it was just a rubber ball. If you'll find one of those, you'll find them in some store. They're mostly 99 cents, but they're pink and they're spongy. If you take that ball and squeeze that 25 or 30 times, it will not hurt your muscles, but it will build your muscles without letting you know that you're actually strengthening your fingers. 20, 25 times in the morning in the right hand and the left hand, and you'll find out in 2 or 3 weeks that a lot of that stiffness is gone. It's basically the same as when we had racehorses and they were sore, we would put them in a swimming pool. And horses would actually run a mile in the pool, but they never touched the ground. So the legs got healthy. It's the same thing with that simple little pink ball. That's just a little tidbit about that. But as I said earlier, you can get something like this. You can have a grand. You can have an upright piano. We gave the number of my friend, and I was associated with Jacobs Music for over 16 years. And you will get the perfect instrument for that. But you'll be able to have hands-on instruction, starting from the alphabet, by lines, spaces, just as they have a course for young kids, they have a course for beginner adults. And I'll be taking you from the grassroots of that. I don't think I had the patience for this 20 years ago. In fact, I can promise you I didn't. But I don't think I'm quite as high-strung as I was when I was younger, because I was playing 7 nights a week and I didn't care. But there's so many people that have asked me, and if I can't take you, I have over 100 certified NJMTA New Jersey Music Teachers Association that have masters and doctors in music. They teach all ages. If you want to go into the already play, you want somebody else, and I don't have room, there are plenty of fine, fine teachers in Monmouth, Ocean, Mercer County that I have that you can be in touch with that would be glad to teach you the right way. Or your kids. There's ones that are wonderful. But that one number you have on me, and Kevin from Jacobs Music in Philadelphia, you have his phone number. I gave it to you. Those are just some things that I'd like to do. I think that you would enjoy. If you have a little touch of arthritis, watch it disappear. It will, because your hands are doing nothing. And the one thing I've always said, because I practice 6 to 8 hours a day for 14 years in a row, my hands and my skin are as smooth as what they were when I was 30 or 40 from having some exercise in those hands and fingers. And when I was young, my mother said, you need to learn how to type. And those little typewriters, they weren't electric, and the things used to get stuck in school. But I was typing 100 words a minute for 5 minutes in a row in 7th grade without a mistake. It was, on a non-electric typewriter. So the piano gives you a better technical feel with eye coordination, hearing, and your fingers learn to relate the way you touch a note, or if you hit it loud, or if you hit it soft. So you learn the dynamics of that. That trains your ear, trains your fingers. And if most people don't know it, have young kids, any child or young person that studies piano, which has more mathematics in it, from whole notes to quarter notes to eighth notes to 30 next to 64th notes, they're all written out. This child, when they go to take their SATs, will score 20 to 30 points higher because they already have that knowledge in their head. And that's a published fact.
That's cool.
Been researched by many, many musical professors and regular informational. It is a fact that it improves your coordination, and it helps in everything from sports to mathematics. You just hear, you see, you feel, you have more control of your hands. And it comes from playing a musical instrument.
That's pretty cool.
Those are just a few of the things that you can learn. You may have learned them and forgot after you took 4 years. Well, I can find that spot, and we can start you where you started at 4 years, because unfortunately for me, I have a photographic memory. So I remember the first wrong note I played at 3 years old.
Wow.
Which is a blessing and a curse.
Yep,
Works
I understand completely.
And the happy moments and the bad moments, sad ones, they never go away. Which I think you read my book, and you saw that the historian was in shock.
When you come back here, we're going to talk about your book.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
So what else do you want to say to the seniors?
Well, get in touch with me. I don't need to tell my phone number again, do I?
Go ahead.
Well,
They're seniors.
watch it. I'm in Red Bank, New Jersey. That's Jersey Shore. I'm born and bred there. I spent 7 or 8 years away in Florida and Mississippi. I was voted the #1 piano man in Mississippi, a Yankee, little Jewish boy, and was sent to the White House to represent the state of Mississippi, along with catfish, which is what they supplied. And when I sat in the plane from Georgia, there was Hank Aaron sitting next to me, and the Georgia Peaches. So it was a big affair. It was a big honor. And, the rest, like I say, you can look in the book. But if you call me at 732-245-4777, or my website is www.storminnormanseldin.com, you can actually type in what you'd like, whether you want one of my bands to appear, whether you want to find out about lessons or another teacher. It's all there. And once again, everything you would need from this, which is state-of-the-art, to a new or a pre-owned piano, Steinway, Boston, Essex, is at Jacobs Music in Philadelphia with my friend Kevin, and the number was already given. So
Beautiful.
That's just a few things. There's many things. I'm sure you can think of 100 questions. I probably have answers for most every one of them.
Good. Thank you. Thank you, Norman. So come on back here now, and then we're going to talk a little bit about your book. That was amazing, by the way. Stormin Norman, everybody. Amazing. Yep. Get your book out of your box. Okay. Guys, wasn't that incredible? Yes, yes, yes. Okay. He's walking carefully. And the reason I'm making fun of seniors is I am one as well. Like, I'm 63, so I could say I'm a senior, so I can make fun. 10 years ago, I wouldn't have made fun.
Neither would I.
Okay, so hold on. This is the book, guys. How cool is this? Right? Okay, now talk about this book a little bit.
This book actually
Traces back, actually my grandparents coming from Russia.
I went to Russia. I loved it. Go ahead.
And when they got to, where the foreigners came to, I guess it was the Statue of Liberty at the time. The family real last name was Zeldovich. And they said, "Oof, it's now Seldin, Seldin." So they changed that there.
Okay.
And my grandfather actually had met his girlfriend who came and happened to show up at the same time from Russia. And he had walked hundreds of miles to be able to get over there. So he came over and had endured the Depression, and so did my uncles and everybody. Charlie captured everything in this book, and it was all fact. I actually recited this entire thing to him from memory for 3 months. And when he fact checks, he said, "Do you know that there's only over 2,000 articles we use from Europe, from London, from Canada, you lectured?" I said, "Yeah, I lectured college professors on the mellotron, which was a famous instrument that was introduced to the Moody Blues and the Drugs, and the flutes in the beginning of the Stairway to Heaven were played on a mellotron." I was the only clinician for mellotron in the world
That's pretty cool.
as a performer, and most people we'd have one, I had three, and I had one in Lucite, and you could see all the tapes going up and down, and you had to remember that each thing was like on a little roller, and it had exactly 9.25 seconds or it would stop. So I had to memorize which finger, what time was playing this, and this. Have to let this one up, to let that come back to it, had to go up this one back. Never missed once. And everybody was just enamored with it. I ended up with Ray Stevens in Nashville, and with Tito Puente with the Latin thing with
That's
Fania.
pretty cool.
He was amazed. And that was the one time I found out that Tito Puente played as good at drums as he did tamales. It was just amazing. And all these things that I talked about here, and some I didn't talk about. And when I was in Broadway recording, which was, that was Bernard Purdy and Cornell Dupree and Eric Gale. Those were the top players. They did all the disco, all the R&B for the Delphonics, everything. And he took me in the back, and he was the original person that they came to, and they said, "I don't know about this girl, if she could ever have a hit record. I don't know if we want to cut her." And he'd been around. He's a real great engineer. And he said, "Yeah, I think we can cut her." It was Connie Francis.
Okay, I think so too.
Yeah, and another one that came in and said, "She'll never have any hit her. It's just she just has a rich family," and I don't think so. He said, "I think so." Leslie Gore.
Okay, Leslie Gore. Come on.
These were all things. And he said, "I want you to listen to something," because he did everything for Atlantic, because that was R&B. It was a strictly R&B studio. I was always in Studio B with the little one. I was the first one to bring Barbarossa and the Historians, which was from Asbury, to do When I Fall in Love and Nicky Adio, to record a cappella in an actual recording studio, which is a classic, And he said, "I want you to listen to something. This has been in the can," which meant it sat for a year or two. "What do you think of this song?" And I listened to it, and I said, "This is gorgeous." He said, "Well, they're going to release it." And I'm 16, 17,
Okay.
maybe younger, 15 or 16. I said, "My God." And it was Roberta Flack.
Okay.
The first
Cool.
time I ever saw her face.
Okay.
And he said, "What do you think?" I said, and it came out in a month or two, and it was on the #1 for 4 months or something like that. And I was first to hear all these things.
So I have a question for
Go
you.
ahead.
Well, wait. Tell everyone how they can get your book.
You can get it on Amazon.com, called You Don't Know Me by Charlie Horner. There's some very nice reviews on it.
I read it. It's great.
We did self-publish because Amazon did a great job. The cover was done by the former head designer of what was it, Elizabeth Arden.
Okay.
And she was with him for 18 years. She was one of my best friends. She did the cover.
Okay,
So it
beautiful.
looked like
Beautiful.
the book you would see at any
Right.
bookstore. And the back picture was taken by Estelle Massery, who photographs Alice Cooper and any major artist. She's done them all. And she came in to shoot just this shot
Beautiful.
with like 200 pictures. So there's a lot of history in there.
All right, so guys, you got to get his book, okay? I read it. It's amazing. You don't know me. Got it? Okay. So now, before we play your next two tracks,
Okay.
I have a question. You've met so many incredible legends, okay? Well, did you ever meet Elvis?
Actually, I followed him in Oklahoma. They was there the night before, and I was doing Mellotron, and my opening act was the New Christie Minstrels. So the night before, they had 25 or 30,000 screaming fans. And
Okay.
Omaha, Nebraska, years ago was not the center of the earth, but he had been there, and they were still cleaning up from the night before.
Okay.
Because you can imagine.
Well, I still have his ticket. I never made the concert. I was finally allowed to go. I was 16, and he passed away. So, now, one more question, and then, producer, we're going to play a track. You've met so many people. Other than Elvis, was there anyone that you wish you could have met that you never got the chance to?
Well, I mean, this is many years ago, but when I was, my influence, everybody today talks about Horowitz, you know, that if you were in the classical vein, but one of the conductors from the Philharmonic used to be a guest at our house for dinner because my father was in that area, and he brought the artist that they featured that was going to be the artist forever was a guy named Dino Lipatti. And Dino Lipatti played the finest Chopin I ever heard in my life.
Okay.
And I still think he passed away at 32 from leukemia.
So you didn't get to meet him?
No.
Wow.
And they still have the Dino Lipatti schools overseas honoring him. That's how good he was.
Still?
Yes.
That's amazing.
And he played his final concert in a cast. And he could not finish the final selection, so he played something else. But if you look under Dino Lipatti, he has made at least 25 or 30
Okay.
CDs and vinyls and
Okay.
recordings. In my estimation, one of the finest players I ever heard.
Thank you for answering that. I was really curious. So, producer, let's play another track, and then we'll talk about the track.
Get out of that bed and wash your face and hands. Get out of that bed and wash your face and hands. Well, you get in that kitchen, make some noise with the pots and pans. You wear those dresses, the sun comes shining through. You wear those dresses and the sun comes shining through. I can't believe my eyes, all that mess belongs to you. I believe to my soul you're the devil and now I know. I believe to my soul you're the devil and now I know. Well, the harder I work, the faster the money goes. Oh, I said shake, rattle and roll. 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 Well, you don't do right to save your doggone soul. shake, rattle and roll. I said shake, rattle and roll. Well, you won't do right to save your doggone soul. I've been over the hill and way down underneath. I've been over the hill and way down underneath. You make me roll my eyes and then you make me grit my teeth. Oh, I said shake, rattle and roll. 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 You won't do nothing to save your doggone soul. All right,
Woo, baby, woo. All right, talk about this song. Come on, honey.
Joe Turner.
There it is. Let's go.
I mean, Bill Haley, everybody's done it. Presley did it. Pat Boone did it.
Yep.
But that's the original guy was Joe Turner.
Okay.
And of course they always copied what was on R&B stations, and almost everybody. The same thing happened with Fats Domino with Ricky Nelson. Fats Domino would do a song, Ricky Nelson would do "I'm Walking."
Okay.
You know, and of course he had his father who was a big band leader, and Ricky Nelson had the greatest recordings in the world because they had technical stuff then that the other groups couldn't get.
Okay.
That's why all Ricky Nelson's recordings sounded like they were done 10 years later. They're so clear. And
Beautiful.
and Ricky Nelson was the favorite artist of guess who?
Okay, wait. Well, not Elvis.
Yes.
Well, because no, Elvis loved Roy Orbison. I think.
Elvis treated him like he was God when
Well,
he
he
came.
probably treated everybody like God.
No, because he was in love with his guitar player. He said, "Someday I'm going to get your guitar player."
Okay, well, there you go.
He said, but when he came in, there was a table. If there weren't any, there was a table for Ricky Nelson. He was to go backstage with Elvis.
Okay, I love that. Ricky Nelson was
And remember,
so
it was
cool.
always Elvis, Ricky Nelson, and Paul Anka, and that were always in the top 5 of
Amazing.
Cashbox. And a quick story: when I was at Broadway recording, and my mother was, of course, running me, trying to get a record contract for me when I wasn't even ready. And there's 2 guys out in there, and they smoke the cigars, and we can't have this guy here. This is a waste. He will never be a writer. He will never be a singer. Why are we wasting our money on this guy? That was Paul Anka.
Yeah, right.
They said, send him back to Canada. And the guy
Okay.
said, I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. So I heard those stories.
So amazing. All right, so let's play your last track. Then we'll have you talk about that. We still have a little bit of time. Okay, producer. Those are great stories.
mixing up the sounds from down in New Orleans. Ain't nothing like it you ever heard or seen. Kicking in the feeling deep down, dirty
That was amazing, absolutely amazing. Tell everyone a little bit about that song.
I wanted to write something talking about the Jersey boy who has his heart in New Orleans. That's where, Jamie's parents lived in Magnolia, Mississippi, which was 90 miles from Bourbon Street. So we always took the highway down, and you pass all the, the above ground burial grounds, and you get to Bourbon Street. And I did 4 or 5 major conventions there, and for automakers and for all these people, and I'd bring all the shows in with the coasters, and I was the only one to go into New Orleans and never use Al Hurt or any of their musicians. I brought all my own people with me, and they want to know how I got in there. I said, they came to Panama City. They came to Panama City Beach, and they heard me there, and they wanted anything I had for them, and just, I had first rights on all the things for the Marriott, all the big conventions, and then the other one said, boy, we had a guy in here to run the show that just ate the place alive, did the whole week scheduling, so I had 125 full-size billboards running from Atlanta to Panama City Beach, Florida,
Very cool.
saying where I was performing at a Marriott
Okay.
with a carriage of me
Okay.
in bright pink,
Cool.
and from that the guy said, can I talk to you, and he said, here's my number. We're doing an installation ball for the Metairie Hospital, which is right across from New Orleans, and I'm going to be the new director of the hospital. Where's it going to be? Oh, we're going to have 550 guests in New Orleans, and we want a show. I said, okay, we can do that. And Jamie, of course, handled my business because she said I was hot-tempered to handle the off-the-wall calls. She said,
Not you.
She said, oh, I was terrible. She said, do you know that you throw away more money a year than most people make? You don't like somebody, you just don't talk to them. She said, let me talk to him. There's nothing like a southern voice with a pleasant note in the mail, and then emails came in. She said, I can solve any problem, because she was a retained corporate headhunter. And when I met her, I said, she took me up to her office where she was working, and her clients were Joe Torre, Fran Tarkenton, and she hired all the CEOs for Home Depot. Pretty strong.
Okay.
She was beating the boys up. So that's the story behind all that stuff.
So, I want to read a poem out of my book, but before I do that, my intern just walked in who's been dying to meet this guy. All right, Bert, come around real quick, stand in the middle, because then you'll be on camera with him. All right, shake his hand, say hello, come on, you know you want to.
What's up?
Hey,
Nice to meet you.
nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Maybe we better hold that for a while, because I don't know what
Look
to
in the
do.
camera, look at everybody, say hey.
Hey.
This is Bert, he's
What's
awesome.
going on?
All right,
All right.
there you go, you got to meet him.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
I was listening to the thing.
Oh,
I'll
look
through it.
at
I'll
that,
through it.
man.
I was listening to the show on the way here.
Gotta
How'd
let
it
him
sound?
we got to get him to autograph it for you.
Right.
So, wow. All right. So, I want to read a poem out of my book, and this is why. Because I'm going to be getting a lot of messages, like I always do when I have very talented people. People will message me and say, Jer, I wish I could sing like that person. I wish I could dance like that person. I wish I could play the piano like that person. Okay? I wish I could write poetry. I want everybody out there who's questioning their self-worth to know everybody has a gift. You just have to figure out what it is, guys, okay? God did not create one of us better than the other. We all have something incredible to offer. So I wrote this poem hoping to bring some joy and some light and to everyone who's doubting themselves. It's called Utilizing Gifts and Talents. We are born with talents, we are born with drive, with different gifts to help us thrive. I knew early on I was born to draw and paint, to also write poetry, and to talk without restraint. Our gifts and talents should all be used. God's gift to us, not be abused. We can go far in life for sure, using our gifts to go on tour. All our talents should be used to create ourselves and more, but then our job's to share them, to even up the score. You see, in life, what's needed is not just for ourselves. Once our gifts are mastered, take them off the shelves. A living we can make by spreading them around, not just for the money, but to spread a peaceful sound. So don't take for granted the gifts you're given. Go out and spread the joy. Our gifts are not to be held back for us to self-destroy. Put your efforts forth, Do not hesitate. All your talents, my friend, are never second rate. Never hold them back or you will surely die. Maybe not in body, but your soul will cry. Our gifts were made to share, our talents made to soar. Go through life enlightened and then you can roar. Be proud of who you are. Be happy you're alive. And once again, my friend, your gifts will help you thrive. By putting efforts forth, not keeping them at bay, your name, Stormin Norman Seldin, baby, will live forever, forever and a day. So go through life excited for what you sure can give. To yourself and others is our reason to live. Our grave will be quite lonely, but our legacy lives on. So make sure people smile with the breaking dawn. And Norm, that's what you're doing. You are making so many people smile. When you were playing, we had a little audience here. I'm smiling at my audience and looking at you and saying, he's incredible. Okay? Hearing you live is so much different. That you sound incredible out there, even on, Facebook and all that, all the lives. You sound incredible, but not as incredible as you sound live. So guys, if you ever get an opportunity to go hear this guy, please, please do. If you want a great book, I read it. It's amazing. Please order his book. And guys, again, 3 albums and 3 CDs are here. The first 3 to have messaged me, they might have already messaged me, are going to be getting one of each, okay? So, A Timeless Memory. This is amazing and beautiful. First of all, I want to thank you so much for honoring me here today live in the studio.
Thank you for having me.
Listen, you're welcome, but you have honored me, my producer, Ruben. Now Bert came all the way over here just to see you, okay? Hamilton Radio. I mean, this was amazing. So thank you, thank you, thank you from the bottom of my heart.
You're
I
very
love
welcome.
you.
But be anytime you need me, you know
This
that.
was amazing. All right, producer. Well, you know what? Wait. Before you take us out, producer, you have a minute. Is there anything you'd like to say to everyone that was listening, to your fans, please?
I hope you enjoyed it. I tried to make it as informational, as much information as possible. If you're listening and you have a venue, a club, or fundraising, and you want finest in entertainment, my band is as good or better than I am alone. And we have anywhere from our dynamic piano duet with Ryan and myself. Pam McCoy is always there, the big band. Get in touch with us. Give me a call. We travel almost anywhere, and you know how many groups I book. So there's not a group internationally or regional or national that I cannot put on a show for you, complete with everything. So
That's right.
thanks for listening. I'm always off the cuff, live. I don't really, except for numbers, I don't remember, Don't forget to call Kevin at Jacobs in Philadelphia, and he will, whatever needs you need, he will take care of you. Nobody does it like him.
Thank you from the bottom of my heart.
And thank you for having me.
Oh, my pleasure, my honor. Okay, producer, take us out.
Ladies and gentlemen, Geri Petito.
I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. And in time, this too shall pass. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Geri Petito taught the class. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Love's the answer, the greener grass. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. One day at a time, free at last.
When you don't know just what to do,
Just what to do, just what to do.
if what you're feeling is really true,
Is it really true? Is it really true?
just keep your ideas safe and sound.
Safe and sound, safe and sound.
That's exactly how change is found.
Change is found, change is found. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass.